Watching some of the videos that are very direct, this direct path to self-realization, it's very easy to misunderstand the videos or just get little pieces of the video and now create this concept of, I got to get rid of the person, I got to get rid of the me. And now it's like you're rejecting yourself. Now, really, this rejection has been going on your entire life. That's really what the ego is it is rejection, it is resistance. But now, with some of the videos that are directly pointing to what you are, it's not saying, okay, well, reject the person doesn't matter, get rid of the person to try and make you feel like you're wrong for feeling like a person. It's not that. That's something that the mind creates. It misunderstands the message, it gets it all twisted, and it creates that idea. That's not the message. The message is always about embracing everything. It's always about being all-inclusive. It's about experiencing life to the fullest. It's about the wholeness, the completeness, the unity, the harmony. See, this is not talking about rejecting the person. This is not talking about resisting the person. It's actually about honoring the person, allowing the person to be the expression of presence. That the person is going to dance with another person, and that's the divine dance of duality. It's embracing that. That's the celebration of life. So, if you're one that's creating this concept where it feels like, I just got to get rid of myself. Why do I feel like a person? There must be something wrong with me. What am I doing wrong? Why am I like this? That's the mind using non-duality teachings as a form of self-sabotage. It's using it in a very destructive way. It's not using it in any sort of supporting way. It's getting everything twisted. And it's actually the opposite of what I'm saying. I'm talking about harmony, wholeness, completeness, fulfillment, acceptance, allowance, embracing, allness, surrendering to what is. And you see how those ideas are totally conflicting, misconstrued. It's the wrong idea. The mind has this way of twisting everything and censoring certain things. It's very selective. It will watch certain videos and then not watch some other videos. And it'll create this bias where you're looking through this, again, this one-colored lens, seeing things, and it'll create this new story. I'm this seeker, I feel like a person. This guy's saying there's no person all the time. How do I go from person to presence? There must be something wrong with me. The direct path is taking you directly to what you are. And the way to that, through the direct path, is actually the pathway of exclusion. So if you only are watching those type of videos, you're going to get this idea where it's exclusive. And if you aren't watching the videos that are about inclusion, then you're creating this bias. But this is just how it is with those videos that are more direct. They're direct through the process of exclusion. Exclusion as I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my feelings, I'm not my story, I'm not my labels, I'm not my names, I'm not my roles, I'm not my identities, I'm not my body, I'm not my mind. I'm not who I think I am. All of that exclusion is to reveal that which cannot be excluded. That's where the recognition happens. Then we explore the nature of what we are. Now that we have removed everything that's non-essential, we are exploring what is essential, which then the realization is deeper and deeper. And we realize that the nature of what I am has no boundaries, has no borders, has no limitations. It is all-inclusive. That everything is arising from it. Everything is experienced in it. Everything dissolves back into it. That it is the basis of being. It is the source of everything. That everything is made of it. Once this is realized, then the roles, the identities, the personality, the thoughts, the feelings, the actions, the body, the mind, the personhood, all of that is then included and fully embraced as one indivisible whole, one undifferentiated whole. That's the unity. That's the love. Everything is then embraced. Everything. You're hugging everything. At first, everything needs to be cleared out to then just reveal the essence. And then essence is realized, and then, wow, this essence is actually the essence of everything. Everything is made of it. Everything is made of me. Come back here, come on in. You're hugging let's come on in. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to exclude you. Come on, group hug, everybody. Everything is then totally embraced. It's just that with the direct path, we need to exclude. It can't be like an add-on. It can't be where who you think you are then achieve something that's then added onto it. It's not like saving up some money and then buying a new car where now the car is an extension of you. Everything needs to be blown out to then realize what always is, what cannot be removed. And then everything else was non-essential. Everything else is changing. Everything else is an expression of you. You realize your true self. You realize the essence that you are. And it was necessary to exclude everything at first, but that was just a stage in the journey. There's the direct path, which is going in. I'll do it this way. It's this inward journey, which this inward journey is what we can say the path of exclusion. Boom, we hit the essence. What's this all about? Explore, explore, explore. We're exploring what we're not, then we explore what we are. And then we turn around, and now it's the path back into the world, you could say, which then is the path of inclusion. We're including everything. We're integrating everything. Integrating is about wholeness, unity. You're including the parts, all the parts that you had to exclude to just get out of the way so you can see clearly. Okay, that's what I am. Oh, and that's what you mean the parts aren't really parts. They're actually all made of the one. They are the one, appearing to be parts. There's only the whole that's appearing to be in pieces and parts. So then now there's integrate, 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 integrate. Include, include, include. And some of the videos that you might come across on other channels, they don't talk about the path of inclusion. It's only a halfway point to just go in. There's actually going back out. If you only take the path of exclusion, you just set up another sense of separation, only from a different perspective, the perspective of the witness. I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm just the witness. And all that duality stuff, all those objects that are changing, all those forms, I'm not touching that. No way. You're always going to feel like you're behind life, like you're in the background. Life is happening in front of you. You always feel like you're on the sidelines. The experience will always be dry. You'll feel like it's lacking something because you've only come to the realization that you are no thing. Not a thing. You've excluded the things, the objects, and you've come to realize the essence. But even that essence, you haven't explored it thoroughly to realize that actually this essence is what everything is made of. That you're creating another sense of separation that is nothing but a concept. You're imagining another separation where you're saying, I am this, but I am not that. Everything that I excluded, I'm not that. That's where there's two parts to the realization with the direct path. And this is where there's even traditions that use the direct path that only go to that essence, but don't explore that essence in detail. And then don't talk about the integration. They don't talk about the life after, how everything is now included. What's that life like? What's family life like after that realization? What's the career life like after that realization? How is that? How is everything integrated? How's everything embraced? What's that harmony like? Because it's still disharmonious by just excluding everything and going, I'm not touching that. I'm this, can't talk about it. Everything else that I see, that's not me. No way. That's just an image. That's an object. That will come. That will go. So yes, in one way, it's a little bit better than just being something. You go from realizing that you are something, that's the body, to then the realization that you are no thing. But then there's the realization that you are also everything, that you are simultaneously no thing and everything. And it's by realizing that you are everything that that's actually the true abundance. That's the fulfillment. Otherwise, there's not fulfillment. You're always going to feel like you're lacking something because you only feel like you're no thing. You'll still have a sense of lack. It'll be very subtle. But it's nothing in comparison to realizing that you are also everything. Because with the realization that you are everything, then it's like you're bursting out the seams. You're full, you're complete. You can't put, it's like a ball. You can't put another part into it. It's a full pie. You can't add another slice to it. It's whole, it's complete. It's perfect as it is. There's no more striving. There's no more seeking. So it's really easy to select only a few videos on the channel. Could be my channel, could be someone else's channel. And just watch those ones where then it starts making you feel like I really don't belong and I gotta, the only way out of this is to end myself. And all these videos are making me feel even worse now. Like I really am rejecting myself. But those videos are just helping you separate what is not essential from what is essential. It's just putting it aside temporarily. But then it gets added back. It's embraced. It's included. Because the full realization is that everything is included. All is included. That you, your nature, is all inclusive. There's not once that you can say it's not this. Whatever is happening, it is this. It's not up for debate. It is what it is. It wouldn't be any other way. Right? So it's very subtle that even when we go through this direct path and excluding, okay, here it is. I'm the witness. It's always going to feel like you're in the background and life continues to happen. And it's always going to feel like you're still neglecting because it was only through neglect. It was only through, not neglect, it was only through excluding that you realize the witness. I am the witness. And then you kind of hang out as I am the witness. I am transcendent. But that's just the halfway mark. That you are both transcendent and you are immanent. You're everything it is. This is everything. In the midst of everything. Everything is made of you. You're right here. So there's this feeling that there's zero distance. As the witness, you always feel like you're distant, like you're back here hovering, watching. You're just watching everything like a movie. Whereas the realization that you are everything is made of you. You're both no-thing and everything. Then the experience is simultaneously, you are transcendent and immanent. You're both no-thing and everything. That then the experience is, there's no word for it. Zero distance. Everything it's right here. It's right here. And then this now feels totally alive. As the witness, you still feel like not alive. You're not feeling the energy. You're not feeling that creative power. What's the word here? Like pumping through you. You're not feeling it because you haven't come to that realization that yes, that no-thingness is not nothing. That it's actually that nothingness, it's pregnant. It's the full potential of everything. Then realizing that, and that's where the fullness comes from. You're feeling that creative power at all times. You're bursting with this potential. You're feeling this potential, this aliveness. Without that realization, you wouldn't be feeling that way. You wouldn't feel this vitality. You wouldn't feel like you're just bursting with bliss. Because that bliss is what everything is made of. And you're the full potential of it. That what you are is the source of all creation. By just coming to the realization of the witness, you're still setting up that, oh, well, creation is an illusion and the only thing real is this witness, that which is static and unchanging. Yes, that's true, but it's only like a half truth. Like there's more to it. There's more to it. Now, what is that illusion that what you're calling an illusion? What's that actually made of? What's making that possible? What is the reality of it? So then everything comes back from this witness that's kind of back here, and then right here, then there's this fullness, this aliveness, this inclusion. Even as the witness, it's dry. You wouldn't be feeling the love. Because the love is the realization that all is one, this unity, that everything is made of you. You are the love that everything is made of. That love, that's the inclusion of everything. Love is all-inclusive. Love is boundless. Love is borderless. Love is unconditional. Love is limitless. How can you set up this limit where you're saying, I'm the witness, but I'm not these objects. I am the witness, but I'm not that. That's an illusion. I am this, but I'm not that. That would be you setting up an imaginary limitation. I am this, but I'm not the body. I'm this, but I'm not the thoughts. I'm this, but I'm not the mind. All of that is made of you. And realizing that everything is made of you, now there's the harmony. There's only the disharmony when there's the separation. When there's the separation, there's things that are in conflict. There's this game of opposites. Whereas coming to this realization, then you see that, these opposites are actually not in opposition, but they're actually complementary. That they're actually at play with each other. And that whole play is all because of you. That it is not separate from you. So then you're feeling this harmony, you're feeling this love, you're feeling this celebration. You're feeling this happiness, this freedom. It's still not true freedom if you say, well, I'm just free from that, as in the body. I'm free back here as the witness. Yeah, but you're not free to enjoy life because you're setting up another limitation, another separation where it's like, I can't really get involved in life again because that's really going to mess up my state of being the witness. I'm just going to watch everything. I'm just going to watch everything from a distance. I'll try and enjoy what I see. But it's always going to feel like you're like on the sidelines until that realization is made that there is no separation that you're setting up conceptually. Then that's when you're right in the middle of it. That there's no middle, there's no front, there's no back, there's no sidelines. It's just this. All of it is just this. It's all you. It's all the experiences right here in your face. There's no distance. There's no like watching from above everything, watching things unfold, not getting involved. It's not that. It's full involvement. That's the step back as the witness. I'm not involved in any of that. I'm excluding that. I'm not involved. I'm watching. I'm afraid to get involved because then I'm going to get sucked into a story. I'm not going to allow that to happen again. It still feels like there's this like discipline going on. Whereas it still feels unnatural. But when that realization deepens, when you explore your true nature deeper, more thoroughly, and there's this inclusion, this embrace, then you're fully involved. You're fully involved. You're no longer the spectator. Right? You're no longer, it's not like you're watching this movie. Oh, let me just watch it, how it unfolds. No, it's like the best virtual reality game. You set it up, you get to play, you're fully right there in the trenches. It's the same way as an actual dream at night. You set up the whole dream's made of you. You localize yourself into one dream character, from that dream character perspective, it fully feels like you're doing everything, that you're fully involved. At no time are you, oh, it's just a dream. Let's just watch this character do what it does. Seems to be having an upside now. Ooh, downside. Ooh, but at least I'm not affected by it. That's never the case. That's never the case. Of course, yes, it's a dream. But now there's the freedom to fully enjoy that dream. There can't be true freedom when you're still setting up a limitation for yourself. Saying that you're the witness, witnessing an illusion, witnessing a dream that you can't touch, that you feel like you have to discipline yourself and restrain yourself from touching it, for the fear that you might get caught into it, that you're renouncing it, that you feel like if you touch it, you're going to get trapped. There's still this sense of very subtle fear. It's funny because we say that we're the witness and we say, oh, non-doership, not doing anything. And then you're still saying that you don't want to do. You're saying, I want to remain hands off and not do. There's no separation between the doing and the being. You can't draw some line. There is no line. That's the point, is you're conceptually drawing a line, saying it's this, but it's not that. And by realizing that that line is something that you're imagining, that you're conceptualizing that line, you're creating that division, that border, that separation, that limitation. It's not true freedom, because you always feel like you're still having this subtle bondage. You'll feel like there's still a subtle level of restraint, as if, okay, I'm not the body, freedom from the body, but then it always feels like right now, like you kind of have your hands handcuffed, metaphorically, obviously, and you're watching everything play out with handcuffs on. But what if it was like you are creating that sense of handcuff still? What if it feels like you come from this transcendent and then you're back down in ground level? A lot of times when we feel very transcendent like that, we feel very like up in the clouds, like you've left the body and now you're watching it, but it feels like you're very like disembodied. What I'm saying is, it's like, again, this is all like loose space here with the words. You come back down to earth, right? You re-enter the dream, knowing full well that it's a dream. It's not like you fall asleep again and believe everything to not be a dream. That's the fun, is that you know it's a dream. So then you're fully involved. You're fully involved. There's no pressure. There's pure enjoyment. There's love. Everything is you. There's peace. Everything's you. There's no you're not in conflict. There's freedom. Do what you want. You're not excluding anything. So, long video here, but this is where we can kind of create that excluding. And if we only watch that, especially if we only get to that halfway mark, still creating this sense of excluding, whereas that's only the halfway mark. When we go back, everything is now this path of inclusive, inclusion, embracing, honoring, enjoying. That all the other things, the concerts that you're going to, the music that you listen to, the food that you eat, the friends, the family, all of that, you actually enjoy that even more than you ever did. That's the irony of it. That's the irony of it. Because there's absolute freedom. There's pure enjoyment of everything. There's no excluding anything. There's no separation. To exclude is to separate, right? Ironically, you separate to then realize that there's no separation. That's the irony of it. But that's just a pathway. But like I said, if you just only see that one pathway through selectively watching selective videos, or if you only get to that halfway mark or that milestone, and you don't do anything else after, then you'll still be creating this separation. It's just on the polar end of it. It's on the opposite end. It started off as I am the body, and that is life in which I'm separate from. And then it switches to then, oh, I am not the body, and all of that, I am not that. It's neither this, and it's neither that. It's this and that. That's the wholeness. That's the harmony. That's where the duality is actually included in the non-duality. It's like that yin-yang symbol, the duality, the black and the white. And yes, the white is in the black and the black is in the white. But you can say like the outer, the ring, the circle, that ring, that circle is what actually represents the unity. That you're seeing that there's no separation. You can't separate the black from the white because the white is in the black and the black is in the white. So yes, there's the unity, but it's also the fact that it's a whole. It's including that play of duality. It's including it. It's not excluding it. It's not this thing that you set up where it's, oh, it's duality, and then no, it's not duality, it's now non-duality. So I got to get rid of the duality because now there's only non-duality. It's that realizing that it's this non-duality that's actually including the duality. The non-duality embraces the play of duality. If it wasn't for duality, there wouldn't be any experience. If it wasn't for the duality, then there wouldn't be this experience of a me and a you. That's the whole, I don't want to say the point, but that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. Which is a good way to actually differentiate that halfway mark. That halfway mark, what it's lacking is obviously the abundance feeling, the fullness, the completeness, the wholeness, because it's just halfway. But it's lacking the fun. It's lacking the fun. By then coming to that full realization, exploring our true nature more, then there's this fun, this celebration, this honoring, this embrace. This is what I say is it goes from feeling dry to then feeling juicy. You go from watching life, which is like watching a game and not being able to play it, like as if you're on the sidelines, you're hurt, you're not involved. You're watching a baseball game, soccer game, or hockey game, and you're wishing that you can, I wish I could play. I wish I was involved. You're watching it. You're like, wouldn't it be nice? No, because last time when I was involved, I was suffering. That's the point, though. Now you've come to the realization, now there's no suffering. But now what's happening is actually there's some subtle suffering. There's suffering, the fact that you're out of life. It's so subtle that still, as the witness, there's still some subtle suffering. That you're suffering just like a kid that wants to play, that feels excluded from the group of friends. And they say, you're not allowed to play. You're too little. So then it's like, the kid distanced himself from his group of friends, and he's watching them to play. And all he wants to do is, I want to be involved. I want to play. Look at how much fun my friends are having. I want to have fun. So that's very subtle and still happening at that halfway mark of witnessing, the witness stage, I call it. Because when that comes back in, yes, there's the witnessing component, but it's not exclusively the witnessing component. Yes, there's the being, but it's not exclusively being. There's also the doing. That they are one. They're not divorced from each other. They're not separate from each other. That the doing is the expression of the being. That the being is including the doing. So why cut that off? Why create that line that doesn't actually exist? So then just like the kid that was excluded, that wants to play, who's suffering being excluded again, it's just excluded in the opposite way. First you exclude yourself, I'm the body, everything else is life. Then you exclude yourself a new way, I'm the witness, everything else is illusion. You keep going, and then there's no exclusion. There's no separation. It's just all inclusive. And it's like anything, when you include anyone, when you include everyone, then that's, everyone can enjoy. There's no exclusion. That little boy that was sitting out of the soccer game, watching his friends, when he feels included, he comes back, and then there's a smile, and there's fun, laughter, celebration. So it's like that. So don't get the wrong first impression here on the path of exclusion, and don't camp at the halfway mark. Explore that thoroughly. Come to the sweetness of the fruit. Experience that sweetness of the fruit, the juiciness of it. That there's still more ripening. To experience that sweetness, the juiciness of life, and to celebrate. Hopefully this helps. I'll see you in the next one.